Hey guys, I'm super pumped. We just did a video at Dow Technologies and they had some red atom racks. We asked them to send us one and Rusty ended up buying one for his setup. So we've got two of them here. Today in this video, we just want to show you what does that experience look like if you were to purchase one. We're going to be checking out the rack, getting it installed. These are 42U, so it's the largest one that they make. And so this will be my first experience, Manny's first experience. So we've got two pallets here. They ship it directly to you. These are heavy, Manny. I think
they are 300 pounds each, so this whole skid is 600 pounds.
Yeah. So this is just going to be a fun project. So let's get to cutting and we'll check this thing out. So it is on a second skid. So this is basically a double pallet. You got a big pallet here and then smaller pallets here.
So I'm just cutting along the tape line.
Right. All right, there we go. So it is in essence double boxed.
Yeah, so
you
have
got
the
some
corner
nice thick corner pads protecting that. But these aren't meant to be laid down. They did mention that to us. So that's why they typically ship them on a pallet like this. I think we just leave it just like this. Let's see if we can get it down.
Okay, so let's take out these straps because the straps are holding on to the pallet.
Yep, I just saw that. Okay, so there's that one.
All
right, so now they're unstrapped. It's already on the pallet. My thought is let's use that to help protect it.
Okay.
We're learning, so you don't have to. Back here. Just like that.
Okay, I'm gonna lean it.
So that's my thought, is we're going to,
here we're gonna lean it a bit.
Yep, looking good.
Right. Another inch or so.
Yep, you got your side?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. All right, come straight down. Nice. Okay, now let's walk towards me. Got it. Just being careful, like not to put too much weight on the corners. All right, come straight down. All right.
So that cardboard is that kind of protecting the casters?
That's what I'm guessing. All right. So basically this is on the bottom. So that's fitting up inside under the wheels. Nice thick cardboard. Ooh, I like this. Nice. Oh, nice. I'll tell you what, let's just take a look at this thing.
Yeah. Oh, it actually rolls pretty easily too.
So on the front, got Red Atom logo, some ventilation up here. This is actively cooled, so we've got exhaust up the top. Let's see. There we go. So nice. Push that button, then you'll probably turn it this way, like that.
Okay, cool.
One thing that really attracted me to Red Atom is all of this is included. Like all of these plates, the shelving. Yeah, so there's like shelving on each one of these, Annie. And then we've got spacer in between here. Now, of course, you could always take the plate off and put, more equipment in there. But I like the fact that they don't nickel and dime you with each individual thing you need to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got cooling up here. So there's two massive fans.
Got a little on-off switch there. The cable's pretty long too. And then you also have a side access here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so if we spin it sideways, pinch this.
Lift up probably, yep.
And that lifts up. So you got side access. You can see the fans up here. I'll get you a close-up that in just a little bit. And then let's put this back on there. So it just drops down in the slot. Press these in here. And then we've got keys right here so we can lock that. We spin it all the way to the back. So this is fully enclosed. Press this button right here. Give that a half turn. Then you can easily get to the rear. My guess, So there are little pins right here. You just pull down to release it. So if you didn't want to have the doors on the back, you can always leave it open, and we might even opt to do that in the lab. Yeah,
because we're always going to be swapping gear around and testing new stuff, so these will probably get in our way.
Now, one thing that's interesting too, I like, and again, I'm totally new to rack systems, so I don't know what's standard, what's normal, but I like how they've at least numbered these. So this is a 42, so you can see exactly where the screws you need to mount, especially if you didn't have all the racks in there. Because certain things you don't necessarily need a rack for. You're going to be screwing directly into the frame itself. So I mean, so far I like what I see, but the fact that we've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 racks here, and these are taller. So this would be more like for amplifiers. So those are really deep here. We do have adjustable feet. So,
so basically, once you find your ideal spot, you just screw down the feet so it gets pretty stable.
Take a look at the front, Manny. Are those lockable casters?
They are lockable casters.
Okay. So the front casters are lockable, and then the rears are not. All right, Rusty, we've got our new rack in. I don't know what to compare it to, but what I'm seeing, we've got nice ventilation up there. Ton of racks, everything's marked.
A ton, like all your accessories and stuff pre-installed. Of course, you can shift it all around. But that's
Side doors come off, rear door comes off, and when you spin it around, oh yeah, you can see kind of they're labeled here. But on the back,
so press the little, there's that twist, and then you can take these little doors out. It has little guys up here.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a little
so I'm thinking we might end up not using the doors on the rear.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah. I do want to see, or I do want to hear how loud that fan is, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not those like server grade, like 16,000 RPM fans.
Worst case scenario, though, you can swap those out with a knock to a...
Yeah, exactly. Like, they look like they're about 140s.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you turn them on first and see.
Yeah.
No, this is nice. I mean, it's like
nice.
It's what you would expect from this. Very similar to what I had before.
Yeah, this looks like it's about an 18 gauge steel too. So it's pretty much online with like our Sonic MSS stuff.
So one thing we're curious about is these 2 massive fans here. We want to plug it up and just see kind of how loud it is. Manny, go ahead and plug her up there.
So it's plugged in, got a little.
And I'm going to get close and get quiet just so.
You do have a little ramp up, a couple of second ramp up.
I mean, it's definitely not whisper quiet.
Well, you got to close the doors too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like the fact they're built in. Red Atom doesn't have wire management back here. So they opted to do that. There's space there for it.
But you could definitely get crafty with zip ties. It does have these little pass-throughs here.
Okay.
So you could actually route all your wires
on the back
through
side of that.
back side of here, and you like zip tie, Velcro. Okay. And it has, I think, the same thing here too. So you could definitely get crafty with.
But there's not like, I guess, crossbars. Some of them have like crossbars to where you can, cable manage like all your XLR cables. You come down and then manage them over.
But if you're a handy DIY guy, I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out.
One thing that we noticed too is if I come around to the back side, you can see there's no support back here. So if you pull down, it does flex a little bit. Flexes there. But on the front, as long as you have one of these attached, the face covers, you're not going to flex that. It's resting on top of that. So you can keep that in mind when you got some heavy things in your rack.
So normally my thought process, amp, cooling, amp, cooling. Because if you don't have cooling here and you put another amp there, normally like heat will rise and you don't want the heat from the bottom amp to cook your second amp. So now that amp is getting extra heat and you don't want that.
And what's kind of nice that I have no experience with these, is they've already provided the spacing for you, at least initially. Of course, you can move these around, set them up however you want, but just having that already spaced out makes it pretty convenient. If we wanted to add the AC infinity, unscrew those 4 screws, pop that in there, good to go.
Yeah, they probably already made these extra big because most people will put the amps at the bottom. Just, you want to keep your rack bottom heavy so you could prevent any tip overs.
Sure.
But this rack is pretty cool. You have the feet here that you could adjust. So you can make it super stable, so it's not going anywhere.
Yep. All right, let's get the next rack, or next amplifier, and rest of the equipment.
Yep.
All right, so the second amplifier we're going to install is the OSD Audio HTA 7200. So this is going to go right above the monolith right there. And then we'll use 12 volt triggers so that we can turn those on and off whenever the AVRs are on, and whatever amplifier isn't being used, we'll just, you know, manually turn it off. So let's get this one installed. Looks nice. I like it.
It's already looking like a real setup.
Get in there, man.
I was thinking maybe the Furman, keep it here like centralized.
Okay, that's what we're thinking here.
So here we might have to take out one of these bars.
Let me at least come from the
Or,
back.
yeah, I'll probably do it from the back. Keep going.
Ooh, snug fit. I like it.
I wonder if we could take out the feet, just so it's a lot more flush.
Yeah, the feet are pretty high.
Yeah, they are pretty high. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we take out the feet, it's going to give us a little more clearance in the front. And also some racks, you could actually put the screw back in and just basically bolt it onto the shelf. Because I know these shelves have a bunch of have a bunch of pass-throughs.
Okay.
Again, you don't have to.
Right. Oh yeah, that looks slick. That is better without the feet.
So the cool thing about this Furman, like it has these little pull-outs, so it actually gives you light.
No way.
So you could actually like scope out your gear. Ah. So yeah, and it has like a little dimmer too, so you can make these.
See, I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I don't have a fancy Furman. I got an old school Panamax in my setup.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Panamax are really good too.
So this is something I'm excited to see because it just showed up yesterday.
Yeah.
And Rigo messaged me and said, "Did you receive it? I got a delivery notification." I said, "I haven't seen it because I'm waiting for Michael. I promised I wouldn't open it up without him. So, and that we could open it up on camera."
Yeah.
But this goes back to when we were at Scott Newby's house and we were hanging out with Rigo. And
Rigo's with Speaker Power.
Thank you. And we're just hanging out, having a good time. And when we were there, I asked him, because I've been on a search for, I want to do speaker comparisons, right? And be able to do rapid switching from pair to pair without there being any gap. But one of the problems with that is you have different speaker sensitivity. So it's going to pay different SPL levels, which is going to make it sound like one speaker is better than the other. A lot of times, just because it's louder, it sounds better.
Right.
When
At least we perceive that.
Yep. Yes. In switching. So you can do it different ways to adjust for that, but a lot of them involve a really expensive processor and a lot of setup. So instead of doing that, I asked Rigo if he could make me a custom amp with a gain knob on every channel. And we kind of kicked it around, and then he was talking again later. He's coming out with a line of products that'll be for residential application, mostly rack mount, but I think he may be doing some case mount too.
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're working with it.
Yeah, so he's going to send us some samples to test here in the lab.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be in a couple of weeks or so. And I said, well, I don't want to wait. I'm impatient and I need to do this now. What can you send me now? And he said, well, look, it's not going to be pretty, but I got something that I think I can put together for you.
Yeah, just for us in the lab. This is not something you can buy. It's just pure prototype.
Yeah, unless everybody like hits us up. You hit up Youthman at Obsessed Home Theater, and if this is if something people are interested in, we can certainly make them.
Yeah.
So it took us a little while to kind of spec out what we wanted. It's similar to what he's doing on his new residential line, but this is custom in that each channel has its own gain knob.
Right.
So it's a prototype. He said it's not going to be like polished. This isn't meant for, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to share it anyway.
Yeah, we want to film this because I think it's just cool content. I'm excited to see it.
So I got his permission to show this. So what we got here, we got 2 of these because each one of them is 4 channels. And each one is rated at, it's 4 channels, 200 watts per channel at 8 ohms, or 400 watts per channel at 4 ohms, or 200 watts per channel at 2 ohms. So I gotta say, Rigo, you did pretty good, like packaging these up, even for a prototype delivery. All right. Like this isn't even a commercial product.
I'm thinking that this is going to be totally kind of just a slap together. It looks legit.
Yeah, I think he kind of baited me on this.
I think he understood it.
I think he understated on purpose. He told me this is going to look like a science project.
Yeah, it's going to be loud.
Watch your finger. Just so you know, Speaker Power is the company that has been supplying the amplifiers for all of the JTR subwoofers for many years.
Yeah.
Super high quality amplifiers. What makes this different is we're using a different chip, or sorry, not chip, module. What's the right word? I can't think of it.
Instead of like Hypex, that kind of?
Yeah, different module.
Topology?
So it's not meant for no, we're not doing 4,000 or 6,000 watt or 2,400 watts a channel.
Watts.
This we're 400 watts a channel at 4 ohms. Now pull this out. Man, I think that looks pretty pretty here.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of cooling, or at least some holes.
Rack mount.
Ventilation.
2U, and then
Speaker Power logo.
I got the business on the back.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So again, this is prototype. You can't buy this, at least now.
So we have balanced XLR inputs. He sent me a little information on it. It's a 32-bit, 192 kilohertz DAC.
Okay.
Non-something. It's like, it's good stuff. I don't know what it all means. Let's see. 41 detent gain knobs, so we can adjust each channel independently.
So they're like a little click on each one?
And each click, it changes a little bit depending on where you're at in the range.
Okay.
All the way off, I guess, would be 0 gain, and then it goes in I think half dB increments.
Okay.
And then it jumps to 1 dB increments.
Right, okay.
Let's see what else. And of course, our binding post, which then we can hook up to our switchers and do some A/B comparisons.
Heck yeah, man.
So what are these guys?
I was wondering that too. So we've got...
So this is the super secret manufacturing only access port. What's cool, because we're working directly with the manufacturer, if we wanted to change something, because the ramp, the gain ramp, we wanted to modify, or I think there's even some DSP tuning that we can do. He can send us a program, or we can plug in and he can modify it for us, so we can upload and reprogram the DAC.
So are these ICE amps? Do we know?
Yes, they're ICE modules.
ICE modules, yeah. Okay.
He says that they're, well, I don't know what to compare them to. I think we're just going to compare them with our ears. We have a few different amps here, just because stuff that you may be familiar with, or I was. This is my old tried and true monolith 7x200 watt. I think it's 200 at 8 ohms.
Probably 8 ohms, so about 300 to and 4 ohms. Yeah, roughly.
So equivalent to this, but this weighs about a little over 100 pounds. It's great, it's robust, but it's heavy and it puts out a lot of heat.
Yeah. Same thing with this.
This is the same exact, almost the exact same thing, but it's OSD brand.
Yep.
But same basic performance. And then we have some other amps, don't we? Well,
so the other ones I've already used a little bit. That was some of the digital amps. These are AB amps from OSD. The other ones are the digital versions, 6-channel, 4-channel, 6-channel, and 8-channel. Okay.
So at some point we can compare back and forth, like AB versus, AB versus Class D, or AB versus AB, and kind of do some listening tests and see, can you hear a difference, and what happens when you push them to the limit. So you mentioned a selector, basically. We want to be able to do fast switching, because the reality is our ears aren't as good as I think, or our memory, audible memory, isn't as good as we like to say it is. Yeah. And so whenever you hook up, let's say, an AVR, and then you swap it out, you run calibration, there's 30, 45 minutes in between. It's really hard to go, okay, this was much more detailed, or this is this. This will allow us to be able to switch back and forth between two amplifiers. Is that correct? Yeah, like instantaneously. So I have the OSD switcher also. I think it's an ATM-7. Okay. I think that's the model number. I called up, I met Simon Spears one time, and he was very helpful. He said, if you ever need anything, just hit me up, and he said I called him, which he's now retired from OSD.
I heard, man. Congrats, Simon.
Yeah, I doubt he's like retired. We'll see.
Yeah.
But he said, well, I would definitely use this one to get the fidelity that you want and for what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think, so I haven't even gotten that out of the box yet.
So we'll be hooking that up too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get you on camera because you know the backstory of this, because you worked directly with Rigo to create something just for us here in the Obsessed Home Theater lab so that we could easily begin to test some speakers, have some constants, but also compare it. I'd love to see how does a Class D amplifier compare to Class AB. Can we hear a difference? And just over time, we're going to just get a lot of different stuff in and through this lab so that we can figure out, what works great, what's a great value, and what can we get behind and make some recommendations to you guys.
Yeah. Yep, this is my nerdy experiment, so it's finally come to fruition.
Yeah, man.
So
I'm excited, man.
I'm ready to actually hook it up and hear some of these things.
All right, so we're going to take this rack or this amplifier. We're going to go ahead and remove one of these face plates here, and then we're going to install them right next to each other. Again, as you can see, while Manny undoes that, so there's no ventilation up here because these run pretty cool. So we should be able to stack those right on top of each other or pretty close to each other. And again, what's nice is all of these you can kind of see where your markings are.
So, and also the good thing about where this amp is, so if we are going to do a cooling fan, this is normally, they're normally like a 1U size, so it'll just be sliding right in here.
Nice.
So,
okay.
So that's cool that it has a little space there.
Let's do it.
You kind of want to just hand start these. Last thing you want is to strip these guys out. Well, right now we have this Milwaukee. You could actually set it to the number 1 slot, where it's not going to over torque the bulb, and it gives you super slow control. So the last thing you want is to strip it out. So it literally just stops it for me. So even if you went full on, it doesn't.
Gotcha. So it's lowering the torque on it.
Yep. And that's one installed. And if you want to go back behind and kind of just give it a little.
And whenever we're doing amplifier comparisons or speaker comparisons, we're using an OSD Audio ATM7. So it's got lots of different zones, lots of ins and outs, lots of flexibility. It's going to be pretty dark back here. Let's see if I can make it a little bit brighter. So here you can see the rear of the unit. So this is discontinued. They don't sell this anymore, but we were able to pick it up on Amazon. I think it's going to work for our needs. So I've shared with you that I don't know a lot about racks, so I'm learning, and what I'm learning, I just want to share that information with you. So on the left, we've got the Red Atom. This is a 2U high rack. And then Rusty, from his previous rack system, he has a MidAtlantic. And so when I was doing my research, one of the things that really attracted me to Red Atom was a price. There's a big difference between a lot of the other brands that are out there. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. Let's see, are there any differences between some of these? So here you can see, going to have pretty similar ventilation in the bottom. The thickness of the gauge steel is pretty much identical there. The only main difference I see is with this particular brand, the MidAtlantic. They have a little bit more support back here versus there's no support back here. And one thing I showed you earlier is if you push down right in the middle, this is going to flex. Then I started thinking about it. Typically, your feet for, let's say, an AVR are going to be over here on the side next to the support. So you're probably never going to have anything right in the middle that's pushing down. But that's one thing to consider. This is rated for 50 pounds. This is rated for 50 pounds. This cost $86 for each one, and typically with their racks, it's not included. This is only $60, and they're included. So definitely, I'm starting to see just a ton of value in Red Atom, and so far, I really like what I see. So the rack is looking really good. Manny's back here doing some cable management for us. We're not going to be able to do too much cable management just because we are going to be constantly swapping out components. But just run through the rack of what we got. Apple TV 4K up at the top. A Zadoo player for all of our mostly like for trailers. We'll use that for some media. Our main source is going to be Kaleidescape Strato V. Then down here we've got a 2-channel streaming, really beautiful unit. This is the NAD M33 from the Master Series. We've also got Rusty's Monolith HTP1, the Denon 4800, Furman power conditioner, 2 brand new, these are prototypes, so we can't, these aren't for sale. They made these specifically for us in the lab here. These are 2 speaker power amplifiers, so they're 8 channels each. No, 4 channels each. I think it's 4 channels each. And then we've got OSD. This is the HTA 7200 amplifier, 200 by 7, and then the Monolith 200 by 7 down here, the 7X. So Manny's been working super hard on the rear of the rack, tidying up everything. So Manny, kind of walk us through just your thought process on this.
This is going to be a very active rack. So we're always going to be swapping stuff out, either new AVRs, new processors, new amps. So I didn't want to solidify all the cable routing because, again, we're going to be swapping stuff out. So a lot of the routing is Velcro strapped. So I have majority of the power running through the side here. So kind of away from the center of the gear. We want to keep this centralized for, again, speaker, RCAs, HDMIs, XLRs, since that's the majority of the connections that we're going to be working with. We have a 20 amp surge protector here. This is going to protect a lot of our more sensitive, well, not really sensitive, the more items that have computer-based chips. So that are more susceptible to electrical damage. So we have the Apple, we have the mini DSP on there, we have the Kaleidescape, so a lot of the low amperage stuff. So we have that going into there. So, and if we go down, we have the Furman that has a bunch of other stuff on there. We have also more processors. We have the Monolith HTP1. We have the selectors. We have these speaker power amps. And then also these guys here, which is the Monolith X7, sorry, 7X, and the OSD HTA 7200. All right, so for the moment, we have this 16-port switch, which is more than enough for this rack. So we have these little short, thin patch cables. This might not be the final version of this, but this is kind of what we have in the lab, just so we could get all the gear connected to our network for firmware updates, streaming. So that's doing majority of that work. And then we have this longer guy that goes to the wall.
So the last few things that we've got to get connected, I made all these small connections here, and that's going to connect this OSD switcher right back there. And that's going to come out of there and into the speaker power amplifiers here. Then we also have a ton of speaker cables over here. So those need to get connected in the back as well. One thing that we found out is down here there's a removable plate. So we just take a screwdriver, remove 2 screws. And so that's going to allow us to run some cables down through the backside and then underneath. So we didn't realize this till just now, we might be able to use the double doors on the back, keep it closed, and that would allow for better flow of heat, kind of like a chimney effect, to suck it up through there. Because if we leave off the back doors, kind of defeats that purpose. But you can see there, got a little hole now, big tray, so that'll fit all of our speaker cables. Hopefully they're long enough. So the last couple steps, we've got to get these side panels on. So Manny will go ahead and add that one.
So the way to do that, it's actually pretty simple. There's like a little bottom lip on the bottom of the rack. So you're gonna lift up, rest up against it. If you want to just hold it with your foot a little bit, press these guys in, and done.
I'll do this one the same way here. All right, Manny, last piece, let's spin it around to the front. So again, this side, there's a little pin down here.
Yep. Yeah, so be extra careful with this door. It's probably the heaviest panel
And then on the inside, there's a little latch.
Yeah,
so you
so
pull
if you
down
just open it up here. So yep, you pull this down. You kind of feel around for it.
Right in there.
Yep. Make sure it's secure. All right, and click on that. Open it up. Close it. And there's your rack.
All right, so 2 more steps. We're gonna power everything up, just make sure we get it all connected right.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna show you some stuff that we use here at Obsessed Garage to clean things like hard surfaces like this, glass surfaces. I bought some for my house. Works really, really well.
Yeah, so I love that it's a matte black finish, but this is more of a satin finish a little bit, so it is pretty fingerprint prone, you know, like most electronics, so you definitely want to clean that up.
All right, man, let's go ahead and open up the door. We'll power everything up.
Yep.
Make sure we got power to the rack. So I heard the fans kick on up there.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Apple TV, Zadoo, Panasonic's on, Kaleidescape's on, the NAD. We added some AC Infinity fans cooling for some of the hotter components. We've got the Denon, that powered up, Furman's powered up, OSD audio switcher, the 2 power sound audio amplifiers, another AC Infinity that sucks air from the front, fires it through the back. OSD amplifier down here, another AC Infinity fan, and everything powered up, looking good. So let's get out the trace list. And Manny, you know more about trace lists than I do. I'll let you share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so at Obsessed Garage, we definitely love traceless. So this is, I think, one of the best glass cleaners like on the planet. And I've used everything. I've used the spray away can stuff. I've used the invisible glass. This is hands down the best. Like you spray it on, it flashes pretty quickly. So unless your microfiber is super jank or there's some sort of crud on it, it shouldn't leave any streaks. So
now, can you use this for the components too? Is there anything you don't want to use?
I would not use this on any plastic surfaces, like delicate plastic surfaces. Okay. For example, I would not use this on infotainment systems, since some of those, again, depending on the make, model, some of those have like some sort of UV filter, and traceless might degrade that over time. Okay. So I wouldn't not, but any hard surface, painted surface is fine. Glass, of course, metal. Speaking of metal, this is actually great as a stainless steel cleaner. Okay. So I use this on my fridge, my microwave, my air fryer, everything. So it's pretty, and it leaves it super non-greasy, which is one of the pains from using stainless cleaners, is like that filmy stuff that you leave behind. So this is really good stuff.
And I noticed with the Red Atom, like you mentioned, so even me, I'm sitting here leaning up against the door, and we've got tons of fingerprints on that. And so that's, earlier I was wiping it down with it. It works great on those hard surfaces, especially like this matte black finish. So we're just gonna get it polished up, get it nice and clean. We'll show you just maybe some B-roll while he does that. And we're good to go, man.
If it's heavily soiled, I kind of like to go a second time.
Okay.
Because remember, this stuff does flash pretty quickly. So.
And by flash, you mean like evaporate?
It basically evaporates pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I never experienced anything like that. I'm used to stuff like Windex, which is just like a watery solution.
Yeah, the thing is, so I don't know if it captures through on camera. Normally when you spray
Let me see if
this,
I can.
You don't really see it drip down. Like if I was gonna spray Windex on there, you would just see
like water droplets.
Exactly. Yep. So this almost like sticks to the glass, which is pretty cool. So.
And sometimes it almost dries before you wipe it.
Yeah.
So Manny's got it all nice and clean. This thing looks really slick. This is like a smoked glass, so it's hard to tell in the video. But overall, I'm super excited about this. If you're interested in something like this, definitely just reach out to me, Youthman at ObsessedHomeTheater.com. I'll be glad to have a conversation with you about that, see what your needs are. Hope this video has been helpful. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week. God bless, and we'll catch you in the next video.